The beauty of hip-hop is, it's the rose that grew from the concrete. Over the past 40 years, we've heard so many amazing stories being covered on wax. With the right circle and mentorship, that success in music often leads to other endeavors. We're talking labels, clothing lines, your own snacks, and more. Killer Mike is a prime example. He's a hip-hop OG who's recently had a resurgence due to the success of his group Run the Jewels. He's used this newfound clout to spread his message of financial freedom, and he's even putting his money where his mouth is by investing in and owning his own bank called Greenwood. That's great. Too bad I know most of you are not here to hear all them feel-good stories, and judging by the comments in my previous videos, many of you just want to know what I think about Mike's new album self-titled Michael. Well, before we get into that, you know the rules. We first must discuss the album art because cover arts allow us to dive deeper into the mind frame of an artist. With Michael, Killer Mike went with a simple design, but sometimes, understand, less is more. The cover features a young Mike with a smile that could light up the room. But if you zoom in, you'll be able to notice the gap in his front teeth. Using an older image with him having a gap was on purpose. It's him sending us a message using a metaphor. See, the message reads, I understand there's been a large gap for solid rap albums in 2023, but I'm here to fill said gap. The long collar that's on his shirt, that represents the album's 53-minute runtime. It's another metaphor designed to inform you you're gonna need a good hour to really take in this whole experience. And if we move to the top of his head, you'll notice the devil horns and a halo. This is a trap, and I'm here to help you avoid it. Most would think that represents the duality in his personality, the good and the bad. But in reality, the devil horns represent how heated he was when he seen how the barber effed up his hairline. At this young age, he cussed out his local barber, and his parents didn't approve. That's what I heard, And apparently, his parents were so upset, they smacked him upside his head, and he damn near died from the damage, which explains why he has also a halo over his head.
God, you can be so immature.
All right, I'm done with the jokes. I swear to Shenron. Let's talk about the album instead. Michael is a 14-track project with a 53-minute runtime. And the good news is that it doesn't feel like 53 minutes because I enjoyed this album from top to bottom for the most part. Dare I say, this is one of my favorite projects of 2023. There is so much to love about Michael, the first of which being the cohesiveness of it all. From track 1 to 14, it just flows correctly. And there's even some clever monologues weaved in as transitions, with the highlight being the transition from track 8, titled 2 Days, to track 9, titled Spaceship Views. I was in the gym the first time I heard this part, and y'all, the way my face scrunched up because the beat switch was so freaking hard. I honestly thought this was just one song. I had to look down at my phone and check, and I'm like, oh, the song changed. The second thing that impressed me about this album and further leans into the cohesiveness is the features. Michael is a very feature-heavy album, but it wasn't until after I finished my first listen that I realized this. Of the 14 tracks, 13 have a feature and most have multiple features. Now, normally, when I listen to an artist's album, I prefer to mostly hear them, but I made an exception here because this album was clearly made with love. You could tell Mike made everyone featured in this album sit down with him in person at the studio and craft something that was in alignment with the sound he was going for. And if he didn't, at bare minimum, he was definitely sending feedback remotely because everyone for the most part on this album is on their P's and Q's. Track 7 is titled Scientists and Engineers, and it features 3 Atlanta legends that operate in different circles. I did not know I needed to hear Killer Mike, André 3000, and Future on the same song until I heard it. I was genuinely shocked that Future showed up correctly, and the fact that Killer Mike even got an André 3000 verse is insane. Look, for rap casuals, that's like catching a Mew in Pokemon. And I can't stress enough, I went into this album blind. I only listened because you guys recommended it, but I had no expectations. I just put it on my way to the gym last week, and when I first heard André 3000 voice, I instantly said in the car, I'm sorry about that. There's great features from Blxst, Currensy, Ty Dolla Sign. There's a Dave Chappelle monologue, Black is on the album, and there's a whole lot more. On top of that, this is an album talking about real stuff such as financial freedom, the destruction drug dealing causes, temptations, parenthood, and more, but it's never bogged down by the subject matter because the production is pure heat. Michael 100% passes the aux cord test. This is an album with substance that you can also bob your head to in the car. It gives you the vinegar and the honey. The only feature I wasn't a fan of on this album is from track 3 titled Run. It sucks to say this too because it's still one of my favorite songs on the album. It kicks off with a meaningful monologue from Dave Chappelle, the horns start to come in, and then the beat drops and Mike comes in talking that financial freedom shit, only to be followed up by Young Thug on verse 2 who stinks up the place with his generic get money fuck bitches bars. Thug's verse reminds me a lot of Young Jeezy's verse on Kanye's It's Amazing song. Great song, but you could tell Jeezy had no clue what the topic of the song was. Run is still a great song, but could have had someone else on verse 2. Every time Thug's verse comes on, I think to myself, oh brother, this guy stinks! Now I'd like to take this moment of the video to put on my tinfoil hat and ask, what is up with Spotify? When you listen to the same music regularly, at the top of the app is where you can find your 6 most recently listened to albums or playlists. I've had Michael on repeat for the last week, yet I've had to search for this album every time I want to listen to it. Open Spotify on my phone and you will swear I listen to Lil Durk 24/7 because they will not take that crappy Almost Healed album out of my top 6, knowing I ain't listened to it since I made my review, which by the way, I only listened to that album like 2 or 3 times because that's all I can stomach. Link in the description box below if you want to check out that video, by the way. The conspiracy theorist in me thinks the algorithm is purposely pushing that ignorant stuff because they don't want you to hear the message in Michael, and to that I say, that's lame. Truthfully, I don't have much negative to say about Michael. This is easily one of my favorite things to drop in 2023. It's an actual rap album with substance and solid production. If you're tight on time and can't listen all the way through, I suggest starting off with the songs Run, Talk That Shit, Scientists and Engineers, and Spaceship Views. But I can't stress enough, it is best to listen to the full thing to get the full picture. Now, if you're not capable of getting the full picture, it's probably because you own an Android phone. And I don't care what y'all say. I know, your cameras got better. Listen, the joke about Android cameras looking like security footage will always be funny to me. But hey, I'm just saying. Now, if you made it this far in the video, I'd like to say thanks for watching. Lord knows I need some watch time. Also, I've been thinking about taking this channel more down the music route as it seems my music related videos get the best response from the audience. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, feel free to suggest some other albums that I need to listen to. And if you enjoyed my thoughts on Michael and you're looking for another album that has bangers with substance, then click the card on the screen. That card will take you to my video on Nas's recent album King's Disease 3. That man is aging like wine.
Pause.
Pause? Pause what?